record. Hey everybody, it's the Doula Darcy here, and I am answering one of the most common questions that I get today, and that is, what is in my postpartum doula bag? I have been a postpartum doula now for 10 years, and my bag has always been changing, or the contents, I should say. I have had the same bag forever. And everybody, I get this question a lot, so I thought I'd do a little kind of sneak peek video for you. So this bag, first of all, everybody asks what kind of bag it is. This is actually a Coach bag, as you can see, but it is honestly 17 years old. I got it as a gift when my daughter was born. She just turned 17. It's a diaper bag. I used it. And so as my mother-in-law, who actually gave me the bag, would say, this bag doesn't owe me anything. I used it as a diaper bag for all three of my kids. So I used it as a diaper bag for like 5 straight years. And then I became a doula and was like, it's the perfect size for being a doula. Goes over my shoulder there. But here's why I like it. Because one thing I keep in my doula bag is my files. So I'm old school. I keep a paper file for every client. It's got their intake form, contract, and then a printout of their payments and payment plan, things like that. And then I also jot down notes on the back of the intake form. So I like having this physically with me. I like to have a written down copy of their phone number, their address, because I can't even tell you, yes, it's also in my phone, but I can't even tell you how many times, I don't know, my phone dies or I lose, I'm out. I live in New Hampshire, so sometimes I'm on a back rural road and I don't have cell service. So it's great to have a physical copy. And I like it. I know a lot of you use online CRM softwares, and that is great, but I see so many of you get tripped up on that. Like you're just starting out and you're like, which software should I use? Just don't use any software until you need it. I really, I don't know. I think you don't need it until you're juggling multiple clients a month and you're having a hard time keeping it in your head or just on your phone or in your files. So I've got everybody who's a current client. Their file is in my bag. I also have a file folder with letterhead. So this is just blank paper that I made with my logo on it. It's just blank. It's got my phone number and stuff, website on the bottom. And every most visits that I do, I'll write notes, because I always say to the moms and dads and partners, grandparents, whoever is there, I know you're sleep deprived, and that as soon as I walk out the door, you're going to have questions about what we talked about. So if we talked about sleep tips or breastfeeding tips or breast milk storage or, whatever, all the things that come up, I'll jot it down. And I always start that first part of the note with, you are doing a great job. Things are going well. Hang in there. Keep it up. Some positive encouragement. That's our number one job as postpartum doulas, right? Positive encouragement. So I put that in writing, and I have had some of the sweetest messages years later. People tell me that they saved those little notes. I had one client who I worked with for 12 weeks, and I was in her room once, 3 months in, and we're just chatting, and I looked over and just my own letterhead caught my eye on her dresser. And she was like, oh, she's like, she said, I can't even tell you, but that note you wrote me when the baby was 3 days old about what a great mother I was and what a good job I was doing. And she started bawling right there. She's like, that made such a world of difference. She's like, it's hanging on my dresser. She's like, I look at it every morning. So it's so important, but it's also a great way it's just another way to provide that, we obviously are giving verbal positive reinforcement, but it means something to a new mom to see that in writing. I've also heard from moms. I'm a lactation counselor, so I also bring a scale and I also weigh babies. So I'll write their weight. But I'll also write little notes, like if mom goes to take a shower or a nap, I'll write like, oh, baby played on the mat and then pooped at 10:30. Took a bottle of 2 ounces at 10:45. You know, I'll write, and if they're a little bit older, I'll be like, oh, lots of coos today. You know, I'll write little things that they did. So, and I've had mom say that they tuck those in the baby book, or they save them as little mementos of our time together. So that, I also have a couple folders of, I created my own handout on newborn sleep with tips on helping get a newborn to sleep. I also have one on breast milk storage guidelines. So think about the most, and I've just done this over the years, the most common questions that I get. Instead of writing it out every time on letterhead, I typed one out at home, and if someone needs it, I print that. I'll show you, has my logo on the top, newborn sleep, my website, phone number. So it's a little marketing tool, leave behind. You know, they leave it out on their kitchen table or coffee table. And then pre-COVID, you know, when people had friends coming over to visit, or even grandparents and stuff, people will say, what's that? Who's that? Oh, it's from my postpartum doula. What's a postpartum doula? Oh my gosh, you know, gets a conversation going. So that's the first stuff. What else do I have in here? I have lots of samples. So I have sample baby oil, nipple cream, lanolin nipple cream. This is bio oil for, it's marketed for C-section scars, but it's just good even just on postpartum skin, belly skin, and it's supposedly good for stretch marks. Anyway, you can write to these companies and say you're a doula, and they'll mail you samples for free. So I like having those in my doula bag. And I just, you know, if someone needs nipple cream, they don't have any, I can whip it out. But I also like, with my little note that I write after their nap, I'm like, here's some massage oil, here's some free, everybody likes free stuff. So I just like leave a little pile. I've even bought like packages of mother's milk lactation tea, and I'll just, leave a couple tea bags too. It's just fun. I also, as postpartum doulas, we provide resources. So I also have rack cards of, well, this is mine. I like to have some of mine in there if I'm out and about and want to give it to somebody. Or if someone is like, oh, I want to refer you to my friend, I'm like, oh, here, pass this along to your friend. But also like, oh, here, you should take this tummy time class with Miss Jen at Relief Parenting. You would love, this is my favorite pelvic floor physical therapist, Ryan Bailey from, you can't really see it, Expecting Pelvic Health. It's a coupon. So I like to get coupons and just information. This is my Tara Photography, my favorite photographer. See, actually, she and I, she had these cards made that she is like a partner of Dover Doula. But even, I have other photographers that I recommend, get their rack cards, and because people will say, oh, do you know a good photographer? We want to get newborn photos. Do you know a good mommy and me music class? Do you know a good yoga class? It's great when you just can, from your bag, whip out local resources. And those people that you have networked with will be thankful that you're sharing their information, and they will do the same for you. I also have tampons. Although I joke, like, postpartum doulas, what a great job. You will never be stuck at a client's house without being able to find a pad. Am I right? But I do have tampons in my bag. Gum, always want to have fresh breath. Nothing worse than leaning over a client and telling them something about breastfeeding and you have bad breath. I have Band-Aids because maybe you cut yourself when you're making a salad or something and you don't want to go rifling through their stuff. A pen for writing on my letterhead. what is this? Oh, crocheted boob. So like I said, I'm a lactation counselor. So I was noticing, I was always like having a hard time explaining, I don't know what is floating around, where I wanted moms to put their hands, what I wanted them to do. I was like grabbing my own breast. So I had my friend Amy of Untitled Doula. This was a pattern for those hats. You can see the line. It's a pattern for a hat, and then she just crocheted it closed, stuffed it. But it's awesome for talking about breastfeeding, latch, and things like that. You can buy one from her. Find her Facebook group called Hound Hill Crafts. I use this all the time. This is one of my biggest tools that I bring out of my postpartum doula bag. Another thing I have is I have this front little pocket, which is good for business cards. You can see it's kind of a mess, but I have business cards also of all my resources. So my favorite counselors, pelvic floor PT, health coach, photographer, more counselors, pediatric dentists. Well, as a lactation counselor, I talk about tongue ties, my own cards in case I need them, chiropractor, So I just, grab a stack of these whenever I'm visiting my favorite resources, and it's so great to have them on hand in my doula bag to pass along to my clients. So I also have, as a lactation counselor, I'm a CLC, so I have my lactation management pocket guide, which is, you can see I spilled my water bottle on it once. So I also have granola bars, because sometimes you just need a snack. I usually bring my own lunch, but honestly, that is it. I know you probably feel like you need more and more stuff, but I like to keep it simple. The biggest thing you need as a postpartum doula is just your hands, your heart, and your listening ears. New parents need to talk to you about their feelings. As a non-judgmental professional, they need to have you hold the babies so that they can get a break. They need you to wash some dishes, fold some laundry. So it's all about your hands, your heart, and your ears, your fake boob. And that's it. So I hope that's been helpful. I think the most thing I want to pass along is, again, that you don't need a lot of stuff. I remember when I started, I was like, I need to have every single baby carrier that was ever made so I can model that. I need to have this, all the things. But you really need, once you're in a family's home, you only need the baby carrier that they have. So yeah, it's great if you know off the top of your head how to set the carrier up. It's also totally okay to be like, I'm not quite familiar with that one, or I need to review that. Let's look on YouTube together, or let's look at the directions together and we'll figure this out. It's okay to not have all the answers and not have all the things in your postpartum doula bag. So I invite you to add those things, definitely resources and stuff like that. If you want some tips, if you're just a new postpartum doula or birth doula just starting out, you want some tips on how to get doula clients when you're just starting out, click on the link below. You can download my cheat sheet full of tips on how to get started with getting those first clients and getting your doula business off the ground. Good luck.